Hi there, Philippa-Lee here. Most of you know me. If you hear some snoring in the background, my dog is near me. So I'm just going to pin the post. I'm doing a vlog tonight. It's going to be a quick one, probably half an hour. And I'm going to talk about UFOs. So I'll upload this later to YouTube as well. I wanted to show you some pictures of some people who've been watching my stuff who've sent things in. And a video from Jeannie. So I wanted to feature them most of all, give you a quick couple of pictures of a video I'd already put out of a UFO I caught outside my house. So you're welcome to ask anything you want about UFOs, tell me about your experience, post a photo, comment. You can usually do that after when it's not live anymore. I'll leave it up on replay. Hi Denise. So exciting. So those of you just joining me on the live, I've got Puppy here, so she might snore a bit. She's already snoring. She's exhausted. So I'm just going to pin this to the top. And then I'm going to show you, I think to start, I'll show you Jeannie's video of a black triangle. This was random for her. She lives down at Yamina. She got a picture, a video above her mum's house and her house in the same area. Hi Angela. Hi Michelle. Hi Dee. Hi Nicole. G'day, I should say. So those on YouTube, I'm in Australia at Central Coast, New South Wales. Hi Jeannie, the star of the show tonight. Hi Donna. So what I love to do with video and pictures, if you're interested in sending me things in, is I love to put a filter on them. I don't change the much at all. I put like a black and white, or I might put a weather demist filter on, lighten. It doesn't actually change what's in the picture, it just brings it out more. So I'm going to show you a couple of those types of things tonight. Hi Anthony. You have a little bit of a lag, and so sometimes I don't see your comment till a little bit after you've done it. Okay, it ends up catching up when it's on replay, which is good. Hubby and I tested this out when we started doing the lives, and it was definitely 30 seconds to a minute. Hi Dee. Kia ora, which must be a greeting from another land. Hi Mary. So a lot of you know me for the afterlife, but tonight, and been a clairvoyant, but tonight we're doing UFOs. So in May, I got a new camera, which is this phone camera here. Look, nothing particularly flash, but it's a great low light camera, they call it, if you want to turn that on. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. And it just takes really good pictures. But look, you can do this on any phone. Just remind me, Jeannie, what you had on the one I'm about to show everyone. I think it was an iPhone something. So I think you can do this on any phone. We were getting Faces of the Afterlife. I've got the window open tonight because we're not doing that tonight, and it's a bit warm. I'll have to put aircon on when it's claimed the afterlife and leave the window shut for you to have a surface to see them. It's easier to see the afterlife from a surface. UFOs we can see by looking up. So I'd ask a lot of you I know already, but even if you know me, others might not know you, if you want to tell everyone if you've seen a UFO. Because the USA Navy released their stuff, and I'm just going to quickly show you that after Jeannie and a few other people. I've got a picture from Anthony, I think one Nicole, a couple of others that they gave to me in public. Jeannie gave me permission, it's on my inbox, but I'll just show you the video from in there, because I can't actually download it when it's sent to me on the inbox. Or in a comment, it's a little bit tricky, so that's one reason I'm going to feature you tonight, Jeannie, because I'm going to show everyone your second video I think you sent me, but I'm going to read the story in a sec. So iPhone 7 Plus Jeannie has. My nephew got something, I believe, on the iPhone 6. I know he got something. He actually got energy in the Matrix or something like that, going up and down a fence. I said, let's not rule out that's your aura, but we'll see. More data needed. Yeah, it does sound lovely. Kia, I'm probably saying it wrong. Kia ora. So Maori, okay, means hello in Maori from New Zealand. I thought as much, but I didn't want to assume. Thanks, Mary. So Malo is hello in Samoan. So we're worldwide. So a lot of interest in UFO. I think Australia's catching up. Look, I've been into this since I can remember. Parties, you know, the street sort of parties, nothing too wild, but as a youngster back in the day when you used to leave your house unlocked, I'm 46, so a long time ago, we'd see orbs in the sky, all sorts of things, and I've heard all sorts of reports around the 70s, 80s, 90s in the same areas. And I'm just out of the closet because I started getting pictures, and a lot of them. And some of them I've figured out, a lot of them I haven't. And so I want to just tell you about Jeannie. All right, we've got a few of you on now. We'll get into it. I'm going to tell you about this. I'm not showing you the whole inbox and then just show you her video from the inbox. But she was telling me in late July how her and her son witnessed a UFO. So I'll just read out for you what she said. Wasn't even out looking and just happened to notice the brightest of lights I've seen above the roof of Mum's place. It then started to move. It was really big. It went silently over us, low enough for us to see it was a black triangle with lights around the edges. So, wow, Jeannie has seen this black triangle. I'm going to show you what I pulled out of a video in a moment. Hi, Naleta Solomon. Sorry, I get used to names. Nalieta, I'm not sure how to say that. And Alison, hello. And so yeah, Jeannie got this. She's black triangle. Her and her son saw. So lights around the edges. She said it was. The bright lights went out, just left a blue flashing. It was incredible. It was a perfect triangle. So clear for us to see. Then less than 2 minutes later, another one exactly the same turned up. So Jeannie was thinking her video wasn't all that good, but I think it's absolutely marvellous. Absolutely marvellous. So let me scroll down. Okay, so I'm going to probably play the second video. First one was over your mum's roof. But I think we get a bit of a clearer view, and I'm going to make it big screen. But you did get a picture for us on mum's roof. So I'm going to flip you around. I'll show you the puppy on the way round. I'll just turn you around for a sec. There's the sleepy puppy. Alright, so this was the picture. Now I haven't highlighted this one, so you can see it's quite bright. When you look at the context of this is the roof. And I love a context picture if you send me things or comment. If you're in VIP, the Awakening Tribe, we have a permanent post in there, so check that out if you want at my website, thespiritualtourist.com.au. Lots of stuff in there that we get into all the time. So there it is, and there's the trees. So this is taken in the evening. I don't think it was too late from memory of further conversation about that with Jeannie. So I'm just going to read the description. So no noise. The no noise is the thing that always gets me, because you'd expect some sort of noise, especially when there's lights, but you've also seen the actual black triangle. And then the lights just went bang off. Just left blue lights on the edge. I think you mentioned a red, and then you had an orange one, but red and blue this time. Okay, this was orange. So this one here, we already know the context pretty much was over the roof. It was about 7 p.m, Janie's letting us know again. Thanks. Yeah, so quite early in the evening. It has been winter here at the end of July in Australia, so it is dark by then, most definitely. So that's quite big in the sky. I mean, that's, depending on how far away this was at the time, it's probably approaching you or heading out, and there's two there. Feel free to ask any questions. I'll try to keep an eye on the comments. I'm doing pretty well. And then, sorry to scroll. That was what I'd done. We won't worry about that. You've all seen my stuff. Hopefully, if not, go back to other videos. And I just want to get to this last bit you gave me, Jeannie. We talked about this for quite a while. It's all quite mind-blowing. Yeah, so these were from Jeannie's son's phone. I mean, look at that. It's my cursor there, but look at that. Now, I'm going to do a post of the pictures. I probably won't be able to post the video, but I'm going to show you that in a sec. And this one here is quite startling. Look at that. Just like the Navy shots I'm going to show you next. So there's a mixture of things up in the sky. There's all sorts of different... I think it's this one I wanted to show you. There's all sorts of different shapes, sizes. There's cubes. There's all sorts of ones. Circular, like your typical movie UFO. So I'm going to... Yeah, then Dee's mentioning the clear circle just around it. What I found happens is that... there we go. What I found happens is that they do have, I call it the pitch black sort of circle or square, because it seems just darker than everywhere else. And it's almost transparent in a way. I think they're going through time-space. I don't have a 2-hour session to tell you exactly why, but let's have a look at Janie's. I'm going to show you a couple of pictures as to why I think that, though. So there it is flashing. Let's play that again. Look at that. So that is a great video, Jeannie. And what I've done is I've paused a couple of shots. I could have got lots, but I just picked the best one. And there's actually a third one, Jeannie, that I found that I've told her about. I got Kermit. It can all be a bit exhilarating, a bit scary too. What do you all think of UFOs? Maybe you'll tell me soon. Alright, so this was one I pulled out, and I have done what I call a demist filter, and I've done it a couple of times. But this was the big orange one. Now, Jeannie saw this, and she confirmed that it was probably around this shape in regard to size and the light, and that's the triangle there. So I haven't changed the colouring or anything. All I've done is done what's called a weather demist, and it brightens the picture and shows you what's behind the dark. So there it is. There's the shape there. Now you've got all these other things here, okay? And that's where I give you a bit of an Elon Musk quote, perhaps, which is, he was asked if he believed we were in a simulation, and he said that he thought there was a 1 in a billion chance that we're in base reality. Now, I went off and Googled what base reality is to do with multiverses. It means actual reality. So I think it's a very divine matrix, angelic, godlike, source-like, life force-like, but I agree. I think we're in a simulation of sorts we've come to experience. It looks like the green screen, doesn't it? And we make of it what we will. So fits in with what I've been looking at anyway with readings for such a long time. So look at that triangle there. So I will post these pictures in the next few days, because I love to validate alongside things I get. Now this one is a little bit harder to see, but this was the third one that I pulled out, and this one didn't have lights on. So this one gives us possibly a bit more of an idea of the shape. It's still going to be hard because I didn't get all the edges. It's only going to be whatever was the natural light coming from the ground reflecting onto this object that would have been able to be captured in the photo. As far as I know, I'm no photographer, but just what I'm learning as I go. You need light. I mean, we learnt that in primary school. You need light for being able to see anything. So I am just absolutely amazed. And this was that extra object here. Okay, so I've circled that there. And that's the one where I did the close-up. So there you go, a black triangle. Now, Jeannie talked about these being seen a few times. I don't know if Jeannie wants, you want to comment on what you feel you've seen. So I love your first-hand accounts and videos. There was another video. Sorry to scroll, I just really want to show you this in completion. We're figuring out how to join the Awakening Tribe in that bit there. It's not actual details, so it's the one I played. Yeah, I mean, look at that, wow. And all these extra colours in the sky. I mean, I've seen some pretty good cameras back in LA a few years ago that they use in Hollywood, and I don't remember them picking up this sort of stuff. Not that they pointed them at the sky and thought about lights coming toward them. But this one here too, I mean, that's just quite incredible. Yeah, wow. So I'm going to close those up. I want to show you a little bit of the navy, keeping Jeannie's one in mind there, okay? The orange one especially, even though it's a triangle behind it, it's a bit like when you see a plane go across, you more just see the light while the light's on. And I just want to show you this. There's the orange one. And there's all different balls here. So my jaw hit the floor when the US Navy started talking all about their guidelines for their pilots to report UFOs, and I've put up quite a few shares of their video already, but feel free to Google if you've missed that, because they have verified video of that's beyond the scanning type images and these, of a cube encased in a ball of energy coming toward the ship. So this is one similar that I got back on 13th of June. But it's closer up. It just, this to me, this did not map as a star, this one. Some of them do, some of them don't. Hubby has a theory that the whatever is controlling these ships is hovering in front of stars to act like the stars. There's other theories out there. I'm going to do a vlog just on that, of a couple of different ideas we have about what that is and what the photographs show, and then you decide, because, you know, we're all looking at this with new eyes. I've had a bit more access to it, but not for long, only for a few months. So this here to me looks like a triangle, and these things change shape, and this was coming toward it. And these objects tend to go in and out, and they're all different shapes. Ah, you can hear Molly snoring, Angela. Okay, anyone joining us now? So Jeannie's saying, have seen heaps more since then. Wow. So since then, July, of the pictures and video I just showed you. Yeah, absolutely no doubt a UFO. Yeah, hovering triangle black, I'd say, is a UFO for sure. That night turned me into a regular sky watcher. Yeah, it's like that. I took a picture of the moon in May and got something similar to this and just went, what the heck? I've looked through telescopes growing up. I used to have one. And nothing looked like this. I'm only doing 50x zoom, and I doubt you had much zoom on there, Jeannie, and we still captured and brought out the picture of the triangle there. The triangle's the themes of tonight. So I wanted, so the USA Navy one was interesting, that one that matched Jeannie's as well, but these are a little bit different. And then they have other ones that I want to show you, and then show you a couple of ships. Nicole, you actually got one of the ships I'm going to show. See, that's on the Navy radar. So Denise is going to go sky watching when it's warm. Yeah, definitely stay warm, stay safe. So everyone's hearing Marley snore. I'm glad I explained that. You might wonder what that was at the beginning of the video. So that's great stuff there. But I want to show you some watcher pics, which is all of you lovely people. I just, people watching what I'm doing and then sending stuff in. So I've done that. This was actually Anthony's sky picture. This is one of my favourites of his, because I've caught the same thing a few times, and we don't live too far apart, kilometres apart, Anthony and I. And this one was 27th of July 2019, he got this one. And this ones are odd. These, don't know. I mean, Anthony sees that as 7. I've had it upside down. There's that thing around it, whatever it is, the energy. Sometimes it looks pitch black, but this is daytime. So, yeah, I mean, if you're ever seeing anything like this, snap a picture. Let us know. Jeannie's saying quite a few bright red ones around. Okay, have some footage from a few weeks ago of bright red one hovering, then taking off 45 degrees across the sky. It was actually a bit scary. Yeah, look, it is a bit scary. How do you assess something that you don't understand yet, that we don't understand yet? That's why I'm wanting to do these videos. I want to show you what I know. I want to find out more answers. I have a lot more that I haven't shared yet, purely because of how much time I have, and it's only been a short time since I've had the answers, maybe a month. So I'm going to do a series of vlogs, hopefully one a week. So, yeah, it does look like a bit like a boomerang, Jeannie and Nicole. It does. I've heard of the boomerang ones. I haven't experienced these in regard to anything but pictures. I haven't had experiences with this type of ship in regard to it being close to me. I've definitely seen the black triangles close to me. Absolutely stunning machines, whoever's running them. Definitely seen the circular ones. I believe they're the small greys. There's Palladians who I don't think need ships. They think about us and they're here. And they're very beautiful and loving. They're tall and blonde. And we have angels. Interdimensional, Is it all ETs at the end of the day, if we wanted to be linear about it? So there's loving dimensions, other dimensions that are perhaps more like here. So they might have war and better technology, but I don't think there's any invasion happening. I don't think they're really trying to scare us. I think that's why they haven't landed at the, Channel 9 News just yet. I wish they would, but not just yet. And they're possibly a little bit scared of the military and us as well. So Anthony's telling us, yes, this was taken at Narara, New South Wales, Australia. And I'm over at East Gosford. So I'm not essentially afraid. I'm not as afraid as I was. A few years ago, I said to hubby, look, if I get pics, I'll come out of the closet. And synchronistically, you know, it did happen recently, a few years after that. But I used to be scared to go and take them even a few years ago. And now I'm just straight out the door. I'm still here. I'm still fine. I think it's okay to look. It's there anyway. And I think you're very brave, Jeannie, and everybody. So the great thing about since the Navy came out is that at least no one's laughing anymore. I've had quite a few people who used to giggle if I talked about this stuff, who've actually sought me out to ask me what I think about the UFOs because they've had experiences. So it's not something that's going to come easy, I don't think, but look, I'm here to start the discussion, at least in my safe page here. So I wanted to look at a couple of Nicole's. That was the rainbow serpent. I'm actually going to look for this other one of you, which I think is in here. Yeah. All right, so this was the first one I got. And this was the 17th of May, 2019. That's Mars there. I didn't use the sky map, but I managed to backtrack of where Mars was and the moon in other pictures and video I had. So this is, I think this is still my one. This was 1:53 a.m. Gosh, I put the time on there, aren't I good? Oh, I don't do that anymore. And look at that. I mean, that's just weird. Look, some people have said, oh, is it space junk? Space junk is 400 kilometres up in the sky. This is a lot closer. And quite frankly, space junk isn't going to look like a few I'm about to show you. And it's not the space station. The space station would move through the sky. If you want to Google it, it goes as quick as in between an aeroplane and a shooting star, which is actually a meteor falling down to Earth in the atmosphere. So, Jeannie, cool question. I wonder if they know we were watching them. I don't doubt it. I think they're telepathic, whichever race you're talking about or type of ship. I think that they're not infallible. I don't think it's like they know every time, but definitely I would say they've noticed some of us running outside with cameras. I think some have shown themselves on purpose, in fact. Why so much video? I'll stand out there, there'll be nothing there, I'll see nothing, and I'll say, I now pierce the truth. I love that one. You can add with ease and grace if you like, but I like it a bit quicker quite often. And within minutes it shows it'll either be the afterlife, something in the garden like fairy-like, or something we don't understand yet that we call fairies. It's definitely conscious. Sky serpents, it'll be UFOs. Look, it'll be holographic deja vu. It's all sorts of things. So it's the veil, basically, that I'm piercing. The veil's what they call the substance between different dimensions. And I think it's fascinating, new discoveries. So that's my answer on do they know we're watching them? I think they do. If they've got technology like that, they've got to be having access to our news and stuff. Angela reckons they do. So does Donna. Nicole, yes. So that what worries you a bit, Janie? So this would bring into question a question like, I'll show you Nicole's shit while I'm talking. Will they then come and abduct me and so on and so on? Look, abductions exist. I don't quite understand all that, but it would already have been happening to you. I've never heard of anyone who started taking pictures who suddenly got unwelcome visitors. Personally, I've never heard of that. So I think you're safe, Jenny. I think you're safe to look. There's too many of us looking now. And look, if they were going to invade, they would have already, surely. We've been at less technological advancement than this and there throughout history. There's alien motifs and ETs and all sorts of things throughout history. It's just undeniable in my mind. So Dee's saying, so look at Nicole's one. Oh, look at that. It's very similar to the one I got. And then there was this one. Dee's saying, I think they know more about us than we will about them. I agree, Dee, at this point. I think that for them to fully come out to the human race would be quite unsettling for a lot of people. I don't think they're here to do that. I don't think they want to hurt us or scare us. It's interesting, the Navy, you know, up in the sky, and some stories I've seen of them talking about it. It's like the UFOs will come and make sure they're seen, and then they'll have a bit of a play and then they're gone. So they're sort of saying hello. I don't think they like nuclear weapons and things like that. Some stories I've heard, and some firsthand, some a friend of a friend, and myself, they seem to be observing. I prefer to talk of my actual experience, or those that I've personally met and seen their evidence and pictures and so on, and felt their sincerity, because a lot of conspiracy theories out there, and a lot of it's I've researched, and I can invalidate a whole heap of it, unfortunately, because it would have just had the answers there for me. So this one here is what looks to be like a ship to me. This was hovering in the sky. This is a while back, this one. We're revisiting some older ones, but then the new one of genies and stuff. And this seems to be some sort of energy around it. Jeannie's saying, I often wonder if they're watching me watch them. A bit scary when they're pretty close. I've run inside a few times. I did run inside a couple of times in the since May, Jeannie, I will be honest. I have freaked out a bit, and hubby wouldn't wake up, and I've made myself go back out there, and they're probably some of the most amazing captures I've had. The ones where it's like, you know, 8:30 p.m. or like you was 7 p.m, a bit easier as well. The one I got outside the house, I'm going to show you a couple of pictures. I've only put up the video, so I just wanted to show you the pictures. I'll post them after. And they, you know, that's a bit easier. You hear TVs in the background, the neighbourhood's awake. But when it's 2 a.m, I mean, it's harder. But don't beat yourself up for running inside, Jeannie. Look, we're not here to solve all the world's problems. We're doing this because we want to know. Look, it's the unknown. I'm getting okay with it. I reckon I'm pretty almost ready for a conversation, as it were, that's beyond telepathic and so on. I've had a few images come up. I'll see how I go for time. I might run out of time tonight. I'm going to do a ET special as well, where we more look at that. Donna, it is what it is. You remind me of your brother Brian. I say that a lot now because of him. Jenny's saying they've been around forever. If they wanted to cause harm, they probably would have by now. Yeah, totally agree. Totally agree with you, Jenny, on that. Denise is saying some say that aliens had something to do with building the pyramids. Nicole's saying yes, the ancient. I don't know. I believe that they had a hand in regard to at least advising the humans. I think they potentially helped make us. Some of the aliens, ETs. It's advanced technology. Check this one out. We've had a few communications on camera in regard to a holographic image that kept changing and so on. That'll be the next afterlife. That'll be the next vlog, or Reclaim the Afterlife. Then that one. I'm going to talk about a star that showed us things. There's a consciousness behind some of these objects here. Just blows me away. But you see another one coming in out. Looks like there's a platform or something there. There's a total oblong in the middle of this. And they change shape. Look, if you're on the YouTube, go onto my Facebook, Philippa-Lee, the Spiritual Tourist, because it'll blow your mind if you go back through the photos and the videos rather than the posts. You'll see it a lot quicker because I share memes and things. Look at that. Jeannie's saying, I'm usually outside at 1 a.m. Yeah, too silent, but I'm getting heaps better now too. Yeah, no, she didn't. Jeannie don't want to talk to them. She'll leave that to me. Fair enough. Hubby's just come in. Hello, hello. UFOs. So, this was an orange one. So these are what I believe are portals or stargates, because objects or UFOs come in and out of them. And I've got a lot of vids there that are like a few second GIF, which is, 50x pictures stuck together in a video animation, GIF animation they call it. Because I can only get 15x on the video, so these are 50x. So this is really just a warm-up. I mean, I could sit here for hours talking with you all about it all. Another one here. Jeannie's saying, the American Native Indians talk of star people. They do indeed. Sounds like ET been around forever. They do, in the Mayans as well. The Mayans talk about the sky people. And we've got a star that shows us some pictures of exactly what you're talking about, Jeannie. One of these things here that was actually a star. I think it said Betelgeuse. Don't know how to say it, but it's in the Orion star system. And it's only done it once. How's that? I've tried a few times. It's only done it once, but I got about 500 pictures of different images that I will show you in the next vlog, along with the holograph, and that's has angels, I believe, in it as well. So Angela's seeing lots of faces in the pics she takes. Yes, yes. My husband sees a lot now. He didn't see the faces at first, and now he sees them everywhere. He's laughing. Okay, so this is the sort of star thing I'm talking about. This was the first night. The first night blew me away in May, because I only went to get out the moon. And then there was this thing. Now, I figured out that was Mars, again, from where the moon was over here that night, and various ways before I figured out about sky maps. Google Sky Map seems the best. That looks like a face to me on this one. Just having a drink. That looks like a man's face to me. You got the eyes, facial hair. He's not a man I know. And he's got hair there. Like beautiful. It's a beautiful face there. I mean, back in the days of the Bible, they wouldn't have thought of ETs and portals. They possibly would have thought of angels and gods. Zeus time, the Greeks. This is actually one of the best faces I've captured in the last 4 or 5 months. And it was the first night. So yeah, wow. They can all hear Marley snoring, honey. So let's go back in here. Alright, I just want to show you a couple more pictures. Yeah, I'll show you this one. This is the UFO sort of one. There's so many subjects under this umbrella, so this is, I'm trying to stick to the UFOs themselves, but this was quite incredible. Now, I'd wonder if this is a group of ships. This is a little bit out of context for you, but she's up at Carryong Renee, which again is the Central Coast, New South Wales, Australia. And I've caught a few of these as well, and sometimes they're pink. Hers is sort of pink. I don't know if you can see that looking through the screen there. And it can go into one line or different lines. So is it UFOs coming out of each other, or one bigger one in the middle there? Yeah, Donna on the prior picture there saying it was a clear photo of a man. Yeah, I think so. Some say it's the leader of a command, the Ashtar Command. Unfortunately, I researched the Ashtar Command. In my opinion, they're from many decades ago, and not a heck of a lot of what they've predicted has come true. I haven't actually found anything yet. So I like to look when people are claiming what something is to, let's go back to the face. I like to really validate that and see where they've come from in regard to, I'll just start Renee's, I've lost the picture now. In regard, oh, there it is. Oh, that was the other one. have they done predictions before, especially when it's fear-based? So they have the theory that the Ashtar Command, there's this leader who looks a lot like the picture I had earlier, and that, you know, it's war and all this sort of stuff, not against us, but with other ETs. Look, I've not personally seen evidence of a war between warring races of ETs. So I'm not inclined to go with that theory that the man's face is that. We're going to talk about that next vlog, what I think he is, but I don't think he's the Ashtar Command fellow. So that's just amazing as well. Renee's picture. And that was the rainbow serpent. Okay. So to finish off, because I will head off in a bit, think about questions for the vlog there. Alright, so this was one that was on my front porch. I'm going to show you the video for those of you who haven't seen it. Hi there, I don't think this is a plane because it's hovering. I thought it was at first. And look at this thing, it's huge. It's got that pitch black thing around it, all clear. Oh, it's one of those things. It's moving. How interesting. It wasn't that far away. I'd say 5 k's maybe, I don't know. Not that far, a few k's. Moved into position. There's a roof there. OMG. So I watched it move into position, and I wanted to show you a couple of pictures that I took of that. Nicole's got a damn wow. Alright, so I sent myself a couple of pictures. So I took some screenshots out of the video and highlighted them. This was actually around it. Okay, this isn't the actual object I've filmed. This is what's around it. Okay, and there's blue. There's all this stuff everywhere, and there's these pitch black and more little lights. Okay, so I just thought I'd show you that. There's the context picture, so that's the UFO, the original one. Now these lines appear in the sky when UFOs are present. They're not there in my photography or my videos at all when UFOs are not present or the veil isn't already been pierced, as it were, and the truth isn't there yet. It's a normal sky, but look at that. I have posted... No, I haven't posted this yet, so I'll post this soon. I do keep a little notebook of what I posted, what I haven't. Keeps me sane, my little notebook. But look at that. I mean, I believe that to be an object that was moving around. There's a different one. Because that's it down below. Before in the picture I just showed you, it was up there. And now it's here. So I think that is, it's not something I saw with the naked eye. It's something I've pulled out. That's the original UFO. And there's this blue stuff that comes out of it. It is like Braille, D. I've actually looked up Braille. It's not exactly Braille. I've actually been trying to find if this is some sort of language. I've been doing it with the star pictures as well that I believe told us things, or if it's a interdimensional craft in front of where the star should be. I'm not sure on that answer yet, but definitely we had about 500 pictures, as I said. And the sky's funny in that too. And I've actually found a couple of languages and tablets it's given us images of that are Mayan. Gosh, ancient Chinese, it's all over the world. So they've witnessed everything. They've witnessed it all throughout the ages. So this blue stuff, fascinating. So this is new. This is new. I've seen blue stuff in the sky a lot, but is that something to do with how they travel? So was that a portal? I don't know. Look, I think they're portals, stargates and UFOs. So that's more of the blue stuff. See a few more lines there that I've covered up with my drawing. Then the extra UFO is gone. And there's blue stuff again left. There's the blue moved from there. Look, it's moved. So this is a frame apart. So these pictures I'm showing you from this one event are a frame. Now, these sorts of videos are getting 30 to 60 frames per second. So this is a split second, this movement that I'm showing you through all of these pictures of this one that was outside my house. Morse code. I haven't looked that up. Any ideas for languages? I have not looked up Morse code. Let me write that down. Brilliant, brilliant. I'm on the investigation. Jenny's saying the sky seems to be changing so much, both day and night. Yeah, it does. I think we're seeing more. And as a collective, the more everyone sees, the more it will be shown in regard to what's there. And look, I call it 5D. It's energy, quantum, awakening, seeing with new eyes. So Dee's saying, I wonder if you could match up more code to the lines. Yeah, it would be cool if we could do that. Yeah, the blue stuff's pretty fascinating. So a couple of new bits that I've never heard of before. I've looked up Sanskrit, all sorts of ones. It's not any of those, so I'll look up Morse code. But is it where the veil's changing? I think the people awakening, I think it's a beautiful thing. I think it lets us see the truth more in our life, everyday life situations. It's helping us to raise our levels of compassion. I know personally with me it is, and a lot of people I know. People are caring a bit more. They really are. There might be some ugly stuff on the news or the odd person here and there, but ultimately I believe compassion is raising. And this is what it's all about. As we raise that vibration or that heart source and value in ourselves and in others, that the more we'll see. And it's sort of a cycle. The more this awakening occurs. And I think too that there's interstellar energies that we're now entering into in regard to our solar system, because the Milky Way has different parts to it. And you can look any of this up. They even have this on NASA, where astrophysics are talking about in the next 100 or so years we'll be completely in a new part of the Milky Way that has double the magnetisation, electromagnetic field, than we do what we're currently sitting in. And I think we're already going into it, and that is bringing in more energy. And that literally lifts us up. So Dee's asking, do you think global warming has anything to do with them coming closer and being seen more often? Good question. I think as a generalisation, they're very concerned about the environment. Definitely nuclear type things. I mean, I can talk from a spiritual perspective, where I had a very dear friend many years ago talk about a prediction he had of Fukushima and the disaster there. He talked about Japan though, and he said it would suddenly not be as bad as it was, and he predicted that the aliens would actually help with that secretly. And it's interesting to me that several years after he said that to me, and he had several predictions that were already validated. So I trusted this fellow, and he was never a psychic out there or anything. He just had this anyway and would tell me because I was interested. And sure enough, Japan had the nuclear problem with the plant, and suddenly it wasn't as bad. Look, half the world was going to be covered, and suddenly it wasn't. Look, you decide. I've already decided because I was there. I met the man. I've got validations like that. Also, definitely in regard to angels, and my mission is actually to show people more awareness in regard to raising their awakening, and the rest take care of itself. But it's actually the earth itself that showed me this in dreams. I've had what I believe to be originally Palladian descendant, but lives somewhere in another dimension on the earth, and he takes me to see the earth, which is a rock face inside the earth, and it has a female voice, probably my filter, and showed me all about Trump winning and all sorts of things, and said, when you talk to the media about that, say this. And that was in 2001, and I wasn't even in the media. I didn't know what this dream was talking about. And in 2016, they asked me on a random thing I ended up on in radio, and I said exactly what the earth told me to. Blows me away. And 4 million people heard that. I don't know how much impact it had, but here we all are. So this is why I do what I do, and take my guidance as I go. So here we are with UFOs. So I think they're very concerned with the environment. I don't think they are allowed to, or that they want to interfere. It's another reason perhaps they don't land. It's a bit like Star Trek, where they have the prime directive, the Earth ships, that they can't interfere with a planet that doesn't already know. They can't give disclosure. A lot more to it, but ultimately I believe they've come in the energy of love, even in regard to experiences of abduction that will seem very negative. I actually think that, surprisingly. That's recent, very recent. We're all one galactic family. I think at some point they are going to show themselves. They're already doing that. But they're so advanced, why would they hover in front of us and let us get a video? I mean, I couldn't capture videos 10 years ago. I gave it a go back then in 2008. And I couldn't capture them. They didn't want to be caught. Things are changing, and more people want to know. Thousands went to that Area 51. I've posted a bit about that. They've called it, what is it, alien stock. Instead of Woodstock. I think that's brilliant. What do you want to know? Look, I'm not going to wait for the government to tell me. I'm going to keep taking pictures. So look, ultimately, if you've got any pictures, video, feel free to contact me or hubby, and do our best to get to it. Look, Jeannie gave me her bits at the end of July, so it's taken me quite a while to get it up, but I will get it up. And love any more you've got there, Jeannie. We've got the permanent post there as well, and you're in the Awakening tribe there, the VIP, so feel free to post onto that. If you're not in the Awakening group, look, that's not a problem. If I post something, just make it relevant to the post, and you can certainly give us your pictures and stuff too. I just analyse it more for the VIPs. Donna believes that they will show themselves. I think so. I think they're potentially going to come and talk to us on camera. They already are a bit. So that's the next vlog. Either claim the afterlife, but the next sort of UFO-y one will actually be the ET one. So Nicole's saying she saw a Las Vegas party. Yeah, you want to go to? Yeah, it's the same ones. They're doing tour now, alien stock. Maybe they'll come to Australia. Well, have to invite them. Yeah, wow. So I've gone chatting on for a good hour. I will upload this to YouTube as well. I'm probably going to leave it there. I'll just see if there was anything else I desperately wanted to show you. I have over 10,000 pictures and videos just since May. I've slowed down a bit the last few weeks because it's just back to having to do other things, which I love as well, more of the afterlife and so on. So keep an eye out for that as well. And it's a safe space. If anyone gives you a hassle, let me know, but I'll usually see it. And we don't have many of them lurking around anymore, so do feel free to comment where you can. Hi, Jeannie, also fascinating. I'm hooked, I've got more to post. Yeah, that's lovely. So yeah, I don't know if hubby wants to go on camera. No, he's like, no. He's a bit shyer than me. I make him MC for me at stage shows, but he's really gorgeous with it all. So I won't turn back to me because I might accidentally show him. Let's finish with Jeannie's pick. You're the star tonight, Jeannie. I'm going to go out of there, and I'm going to go down here. Look at that. Thank you, Angela. Thank you, everyone, for coming. And hopefully in a week or two you can see some pictures I've got of some holographic ETs. They've come and talked to me telepathically. Look, I'm convinced there's more to come. I just needed to catch up on my sleep for a little while. I do like to come in the middle of the night. Anyway, all right, good night, Donna. Good night, everyone. Much love, and I shall see you soon. Namaste.